It's Sunday, February 11th, 2024. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Coming to you from Palm Desert, California, about 70 degrees right now in the late afternoon. The course is green, not a cloud in the sky, blue skies, a lot of snow on the mountains. The birds are out chirping, the flowers are blooming, the palm trees look great. Absolutely beautiful weather for February while most of the country is freezing. I must say that the desert has probably the best weather of anywhere, 6-7 months out of the year. It's absolutely gorgeous out right now. But let's get into some real serious things here. Please make sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification down below. Make sure you click that so that you are alerted when the newest videos drop. A lot of people say they're not being alerted. Click that bell notification. That way you will be alerted. Many people saying they've been unsubscribed. So when you do subscribe, hit that bell notification. But I want to get into some of these articles today. The first one is titled "Waste Management Open Turns into Drunken Crap Show with Fan Fights and Angry Players." This is on the PGA, big golf tournament in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was watching some of the video of this. This took place yesterday. And I'm watching some of the videos of this golf tournament. I've never seen anything like it. I'm not the biggest golf fan in the world, but I have, seen some tournaments over the years on television. And golf is, primarily a pretty laid-back sport, right? You would not think that you would be seeing fistfights and drunken behavior taking place. But, watching this behavior and watching society collapsing right before our very eyes, it is a warning to all of us what we're going to be dealing with in the very near future. It says here on another article, alcohol sales halted after drunk chaos erupts at Waste Management Phoenix Open on Saturday. It's really embarrassing, but I watched some of these videos. One of them was a gentleman, probably weighed about 400 pounds, shirtless. He slides down a hill on the golf course. It looks like they threw a bunch of beer on it. And this guy basically water slides down this hill on the golf course, no shirt on, 400 plus pounds, people cheering him on. Just really embarrassing. Another person runs shirtless across the fairway, jumps into a sand trap, and is rolling around in a sand trap. I've never seen this ever. Not that I've watched a lot of golf tournaments, but this is a sport that you primarily never see this type of behavior, and you never see fans out of control. This is the first I've ever seen anything like this. This was more concerning. A couple individuals get into a fist fight. They're punching, fight goes to the ground. Now they're wrestling on the ground, and people are cheering it on. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, where this society is going, but you are watching, in my humble opinion, the collapse of U.S. society. People are acting like animals. They're out of control. You cannot even now go to a golf tournament and feel safe. And then to make things even worse, I saw in one video, one of the golfers gets into it with a fan and tells the fan to shut up. Now, I have no idea what the fan was saying, probably obviously very vulgar. You never have seen anything like this. And it is another reminder of how quickly this society here in the United States of America is collapsing. You don't have to look far to see it all collapsing, from what's happening right in your own cities to what's happening at sporting events. It is shocking to see how far we have come in the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years as a society, and it's not improving. It's going to get much worse. And these are the people, unfortunately, you're going to be dealing with when things get really bad. When the grids go down, there's no power, there's no food. These are the people you're going to be dealing with. Think about the people at these events. Think about how many of them are really prepared. How many of them are really awake to what's happening? How many of them care about what's happening to the dollar, their pensions, their retirements? They are completely comatose. They are zombies. They are asleep. And they could care less today about what's happening, but they're going to care when they go hungry. Here's one from CNN. The president calls on snack companies to stop shrinkflation ahead of Super Bowl. Old Uncle Joe, I guess, is going to premiere a commercial during the Super Bowl. I won't be seeing it because I won't be watching it. But he says in the video, I watched the commercial, he says, you might have noticed while buying snacks for the game, a bag of chips has less chips. and companies are charging just as much. They're pulling a fast one on you. It's very possible. I think that some of these companies are getting very, very greedy, but are people just now noticing this today? Are you just now noticing this? This has been going on for a couple years now. Where's Uncle Joe been? I don't know if companies are pulling a fast one. Comment down below. Do you think companies are purposely doing this, or are they doing it because the cost of labor, the cost of food, the cost of ingredients, etc., are going up, that they have to pass this on to the consumer? I think it's a combination. But to think that, now, in case you haven't noticed, Uncle Joe, where have you been? I mean, I've been noticing this for 2 years. Most of America has. Shrinkflation is alive and well, and guess what? It's going to continue to get much worse. But the question is, what is Uncle Joe doing about it? This isn't political. Whether you're right, left, or in the middle, I want to know what the system, what my government is doing to help people and to deal with this shrinkflation. What are we doing? How are you helping? It's been going on for years now. What are you going to do to stop it? How about lowering prices? How about opening up those pipelines? How about getting people back to work? How about incentivizing small business? How about cutting taxes? How about not sending money all over the world and start sending some money right here where it counts? That's what Uncle Joe should be doing. Maybe not taking millions upon millions of people from all over the world and giving them health insurance, giving them $3,000 debit cards. Maybe some U.S. citizens could use that. I don't know. It's just a thought. This was an article on the hedge. Peter Schiff. We are on the brink of a catastrophe, without a doubt. And it's a good article. Check it out. But I want to say this. There are a lot of people out there who seem to be waiting for a crisis, and they don't realize that they are already in a crisis. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of people will say, well, the stock market's up, everything's great. There's snow on the mountains, the skies are blue, the birds are out, the course is green, everything's great. But these same people have no money in the bank, they have no assets, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They're a flat tire away from big, big trouble. They have absolutely no retirement, no health insurance. They have nothing, and yet they think everything is okay. And they're the ones saying, oh, when's the crisis going to begin? They're waiting for a crisis when they're already in a crisis. I cannot believe how many people have zero money saved up for retirement. I cannot believe how many people have zero money saved up for an emergency. I mean, more than half this country does not even have $400 in cash put away. And you've got to think, when things really begin to unfold here financially, what in the world is somebody going to do that doesn't even have $400 saved up? They have nothing but massive debt. Their credit's destroyed. Somebody said, oh, who cares about a credit score? Well, I'll tell you who's going to care. The person who needs to go rent a room, the person who needs to go rent an apartment, the person who needs to go buy a car, the person who needs a credit card because they need a lifeline. They're not going to get one because their credit score has been destroyed. That's, look, I get it. Much better to pay cash, much better to be your own bank. But credit makes the world go round, right? People rely on credit. Businesses rely on credit. The average person has no money saved up. They are relying on credit. And to think that a credit score doesn't matter, it's going to matter, because how are people going to survive that don't have any money, which is a majority of this country, if they cannot access credit because their credit scores are destroyed? I believe you should pay as much as you can in cash and not finance anything if you can do it. But at the end of the day, a credit score does matter, because most people don't have cash, they have no savings, they're paycheck to paycheck. And if you don't have a decent credit score, you don't get an apartment, you don't get a house, you don't get to buy a car. If you do, you'll be paying 18%. If you don't have decent credit, you don't get a credit card. This is why a credit score does matter. And Dave Ramsey may disagree with me, but try to get a hotel without a credit card. Try to rent a car without a credit card. Try to buy a house without a credit score. It's very, very difficult. Not saying it can't be done, but it's very, very difficult. So a credit score does matter. And these people are wiped out, and they're destroying their credit every day at the worst possible time. And yet they believe everything is okay. Where's the crisis? even though my credit score is being destroyed, even though I have $100,000 in college tuition debt. People are pretending that everything is great. They have no savings, no assets, a part-time job. They're not even working 40 hours a week, a lot of these people, and they believe everything is okay. They're just hoping things are going to get better, that something's going to change, that some miracle is going to take place. Many of these people, unfortunately, from what I've seen and what I'm observing, don't really want to get out and hustle. They don't want to work 40 hours, and they shouldn't work 40 hours. They need to be working 50, 60, 70 hours. People right now who are desperate, who are struggling, who are falling behind, the only advice I can give to you is you're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to work longer. And there's not really any other option right now other than really, really going out there and hustling. That's about the only advice I can give. And at some point, I have to say that no matter how much you work, things are getting so expensive that there's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough hours in the week to keep up with all this inflation and these rising prices. But in the meantime, what other choice do people have right now other than, working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours, whatever. Take advantage of it while you can, because a lot of these jobs a year or 2 from now are not going to exist. But people just think if they sit at home and they just hope that somehow things are going to change. And I'm here to tell you, they're not going to change. They're going to get much worse. You need to be hustling as much as you can, especially if you have kids. But so many people out there right now are relying on maybe a government subsidy. They're working a part-time job, and that's it. And they just hope that next week, next month, something's going to change, and it's not going to. Take advantage of some of these jobs right now. Maybe they're not career paths. I get it. Most of them are leisure and hospitality. But what's benefiting you sitting at home doing nothing? What's benefiting you or your kids sitting at home doing nothing when you could be out there at least making some money and being productive and putting it away? Just my 2 cents. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. How can we get ahead right now? I want to know your thoughts. Work as many side hustles, get the hours in, get as many jobs as you can, and work as much as you can right now. Or you innovate, you create, you open a business, you do something, but you got to be doing something productive right now. What is the benefit of sitting at home and not doing anything? To me, that's just costing money. When you can take that time and produce some capital. So let me know what you think. How can we earn extra money? And it's sad that at some point you can work as much as you want, but it's not going to be enough because prices are getting so out of control. And this is why I believe we need to see things crash. Things have got to come down. We need to see some deflation in America, and we need to see some good jobs coming to America, and we need to see some tax breaks in America, and we need to see more opportunity in America. And without this, people are going to be living in their own third world country right at home. Here's another one today. Unfunded costs of retirement benefits reach $1.14 trillion. New Jersey, California, New York, Texas, Illinois, just to name a few, face a $100 billion plus deficit in each one of these states. California right now has a $140 billion deficit. New York, $133 billion deficit. Texas, $120 billion deficit. And, I know some people will say, well, I have a pension where I live. I don't have to rely on the state. What if your pension where you work, what if that company that you work for goes under? What if it goes bankrupt? What if it goes out of business? More than likely, this is what will happen. Your payments are going to be reduced. You are not going to get 100% of your pension if the company you work for goes under. So if you've been working there for 10 years, you're not going to retire with 100% of your pension. Not going to happen. And there's, the possibility that you could get nothing. But a lot of people will get, they're going to get 50%, maybe they get 75%, maybe they get 25%. But think about how many people are reliant that by the time they retire 20 years from now, they're relying on that pension. Will it be there? Will 50% of it be there? Nobody knows. And this is why every day I reiterate that you be your own central bank. Have your own personal 401k, which is you putting away some gold, some silver, because many of these pensions many of these companies are going to be in very, very big trouble. It's a scary time, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. With the deficits that these states are running, many of these states are bankrupt. And are we going to see at some point, maybe like the state of Illinois, have to be bailed out? It's very, very possible. But, who's going to bail them out? Really just unbelievable. Here's another one from the Hedge today. A Super Bowl ticket costs roughly 11.7% of the median household income in America. So average ticket, a little bit over $9,000. And they're anticipating that household income in 2024, will be $77,000 for the year. Now, this was interesting in the article. Players' checks have significantly outpaced the rise in median household income. Super Bowl player earnings have increased 94.3% since 2012. And so, people, they support this garbage and these massive contracts because they're paying these massive amounts for the tickets, the beer, the hot dogs, the parking, the t-shirts, all the souvenirs. And it's just shocking how much people will spend on this. The cable packages, it's unbelievable. I think about how many people are in Vegas right now. $23 billion will be wagered on this game tonight. And I wonder how many of these people can really afford to be doing this. And yet, your country is burning down. Your pensions, Social Security, retirements are being robbed. Your purchasing power is being destroyed. The debt now superseding $34 trillion. We're talking about 2 wars, possibly a third at some point this spring, this summer. And people just want to go out and watch games and drink and just hope nothing bad happens. I will say this. Look, it doesn't bother me if you watch football or you're watching the Super Bowl. God bless you. I hope you have a great time. I hope your team wins, all that stuff. But I will always remember this. I will never forget this. When these people on these teams took a knee to the flag of the greatest country on planet Earth, they took a knee. They slapped the faces of the military, the police, and every ticket holder. I will never forgive them. I will never forget it. And apparently millions of people have already forgotten and already forgiven. And that's fine. That's okay. But the Major League Baseball players, the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, all of this, they are all guilty of taking money that you give them and using it against you to take your rights. And you know the rights I'm talking about. They do not want you to have security. They're against it, and they're going to use that money. When you buy a ticket, a hot dog, or beer, they're going to take a percentage of that money, and they're going to use it against you to make sure you don't have these rights. The same people who took a knee to the greatest flag on planet Earth, the American flag, whether you agree with that or disagree with that, I don't believe in the direction we're going in. I don't believe in the system, but I love this country. And I still respect that flag and would never, ever take a knee to it. And these people did. And they slapped the faces of all of you, to the military, to the police, every good American. I will never forgive them. I will never give them a cent. I will never give them a second of my time. And that's just it. Again, if you're watching the game, God bless you. Have a good time. I don't hold it against anybody. I know everybody has to have some balance in their life, but I cannot support this rubbish, this trash, and I will not do it. On that note, I don't want to rant on here on this beautiful late Sunday afternoon. If you're watching the game, have a great time. But back to reality tomorrow, back to the real world tomorrow. And, when we think about what the sheriffs are saying and the threats in this country right now, please use situational awareness. Please be careful wherever you go. Situational awareness and being aware of where you're at costs absolutely nothing. Stop staring at your phones when you're walking, when you're out. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to your families. Make sure they're safe. And I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Please like, share, subscribe. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. And it's just shocking what's going on. It's really, really sad. Talk to all of you soon.